Well, the true face of Pakistan has been exposed to the world as hours after this understanding of ceasefire that was reached between India and Pakistan, there was blatant violation of the same agreement. The MEA shortly doing a briefing after saying that our forces continue to remain on high alert. However, also expressing disappointment from Pakistan's side and asking the country to take immediate corrective measures. The Indian forces have been given a free hand to give a retaliatory and a proportionate response to Pakistan. However, India has also this morning opened the gates of the Salal Dam. Remember, India continues to remain an upper hand with regards to the Indus Treaty that continues to remain in abeyance. Also, there is uneasy calm that prevails in many of those areas close to the border, which had bore the heavy brunt of shelling and artillery fire. Areas like in Poonch, areas like in Rajouri, however, appear to be normal. There is a situation similarly coming in from cities like Amritsar as well and Bhatinda, where there was overnight blackouts as well. But what is being said that power supply has been restored. However, when it comes to restrictions for the movement of citizens, that continues to remain in place. Delhi's IGI airport, however, the flights are continuously remaining, they are now moving normally as far as the operations are concerned. Pradeep Datta is with us right now. Pradeep, all of the events that have happened in, say, about the last 12 hours, because by this time in the evening, we were expecting that there would be Shanti, there would be no more sightings of drones. We couldn't almost hear the sirens, but the situation dramatically changed as Pakistan continued with its escalation. What happened next?
See, what actually India had been telling world that has been proved right, because India often said that you can't trust Pakistan. That's why there's a trust deficit so far as Pakistan is concerned. World was also able to see the true face of Pakistan, that within 2 hours they backtracked from the promise. They were not able to keep their words, and all of a sudden we saw the guns blazing and also siren blaring as there was an aerial intrusion from Pakistan's side. Many of the drones were sent towards Jammu and Kashmir and other parts of India where they wanted to target civilian installation, military installations, civilian infrastructure, and also air bases. But though they didn't succeed, because India was once again able to thwart their attempt and give a befitting response to the Pakistani troops firing on Indian side with the strong befitting reply. But what is really important is that, see, on one hand, Shahbaz Sharif, we have seen that he is claiming victory. I think this is the one way of catering to its domestic audience, because reason is the kind of drubbing they have received from India during the last 3-4 days. They are not going to forget it forever, because reason, India never ever wanted any kind of military action. Basically, India wanted to attain one objective from day one, because when on 26th, 2nd of April, there was an attack in Pahalgam, Prime Minister cut short his visit. He came out to this place. There was a CCS meeting. He, during that meeting, only conveyed that we are going to go after perpetrators. It will not be confined only to those foot soldiers and jihadis operating on the Indian side. This time they will be hitting the fountainhead, and they will do so. And they never ever wanted to target military installation. They never ever wanted any kind of a civilian collateral damage. They gave them an enough window for 14 days when they didn't do anything for 14 days. And finally on 15 days, this Operation Sindhur was launched, and 9 of their terror dens were completely demolished within 25 minutes, firing 24 missiles and killing more than 100 terrorists, including terror clan of Masood Azhar, the man behind Pulwama bombing and other terror attacks, was completely wiped out. So after that, India never wanted to do anything, because India's military objective was achieved. But Pakistan got rattled, because they opened mouths of their gun. They started targeting civilian infrastructure. They started targeting villages on the border. And the first one to face the brunt of Pakistan shelling was Poonch area, in which 16 people died and many others were critically injured. And then after that, we saw the similar kind of a situation all along the line of control in international border, and India was able to give them befitting reply. Then they started aerial intrusion. So India, then after that, India started hitting their air bases. From where these drones were launched, they started hitting their air bases. From where the fighter jets started coming closer to the Indian line of control, but they were not able to penetrate India's airspace, because Indians were quite vigilant. And we have seen what really happened in Sargodha.
But many of the citizens that have been affected because of this continuous ceasefire violation and heavy artillery and shelling as well, they would want to know if they can now safely return to their homes. But however, when we take a look at the aftermath of the earlier ceasefire violations as well, the situation along the border can be said that it is largely stabilized. Now, according to top sources speaking to us, there has been no drone sighting that were reported after 11 p.m., with just 1 or 2 of them were spotted near the LOC and the international border in Jammu. And Importantly, no ceasefire violations have occurred since 11 p.m. Major General Sehgal, sir, what do you make of this? Does it signal a return to calm, or should the people and the citizens there continue to follow the precautionary measures?
We should continue to remain vigilant and follow the precautionary measures. This, for the time being, it is clearly indicated that Pakistan definitely is on the back foot and they are buckling under. Four things are standing out. Firstly, the decisive of the leadership at the political, which was never seen before. Second thing is that India's ability to do precision strikes without causing any collateral damage, either to civil or military. Only two countries in the world have displayed this capability, America and Israel. Russia also has this capability, but they've been wavered as far as Ukraine war is concerned. China claims this capability, but has not been proven. Thirdly, the integration, jointness and coordination between the three services, Army, Navy, Air Force, is absolutely unparalleled. Nobody expected India to be able to do this without even creation of theatre commands. And fourthly, to pursue a modern warfare, four ministries must work in synergy. Ministry of Defense, Ministry of External Affairs, Ministry of Economic Affairs and Ministry of Home Affairs. They've all been working synergetically with a purpose. One purpose aim was to ensure that the political will of the Pakistani government collapses. It's collapsed to a very large extent. And secondly, the ISI and the army are squeezed from all directions. We've done that very, very effectively. There's been an economic strike, there's been a digital strike, there's been isolation of Pakistan diplomatically and politically, and there's been a kinetic strike. So all of them have been acting in unison to ensure absolute and optimum results. Back to you, Vita.
Yes, sir, because the situation here seems to be appearing to look normal. However, when it comes to precaution and advisories that have been issued to the citizens, they are expected to follow the same.